Friends, today I am going to explain a recently released Indonesian possession exorcism horror movie named Kudrat. It is a very good film, and its IMDb rating is 7.1 stars out of 10. And yes, you must tell in the comments section which country, state, or town you are watching this video from. It would be nice to know where our viewers are from. So let's go straight to the video, without any delay. So at the beginning of the movie, we see Kudrat who is doing his son Alif's exorcism. But the Satan or the devil that possesses Alif here is much more powerful. That's why Satan kills Alif before Kudrat's exorcism is complete. And from here, before the devil or Satan leaves, Alif tells Kudrat that you are going to suffer for the rest of your life because of your guilt. After that, in the next scene, we see Kudrat directly in jail, where we find out that Kudrat has been in jail for the last 3 years because of Alif's death. Because obviously the police don't believe in this. Someone can do this. Apart from this, we find out from Kudrat and his fellow prisoners that Kudrat had lost his wife Aziza for some unknown reason, and even after exorcising in the name of Allah, he could not save his son. Because of which he now hates Allah. Basically, even after taking the name of Allah all his life, Kudrat could not save his family. That's why he now considers Allah to be responsible for his bad luck. Basically, he was upset with him. Anyway, here Kudrat and his fellow prisoners are talking. That's when the warden of the jail comes there, which drags Kudrat and takes him to another room. And shockingly, he takes him there and hangs him on the gallows. And we find out that the warden of this jail is also possessed by the same devil who killed Alif. And his name is Asuwala here. That is, even after so many years, Asuwala did not leave Kudrat. And when he found out that Kudrat has been forgiven, and he will be released from jail soon, so he hanged Kudrat and killed him. But the question here is, why was Asuwala doing this only to Kudrat? So there's a lot of horror behind it. Anyway, after that, we see Kudrat's spirit in another world, where he realizes the truth that Allah never does anything wrong to anyone. After that, Kudrat's spirit comes back to his body, which was kept in the morgue. After that, Kudrat runs away from there and comes to his village. That is, he was killed, but Allah sent his soul back to his body, where he finds out that the devil has taken control of his village. And one day, the devil possesses someone and kills them. You can also understand this as Satan. In addition to this, the village was dry due to the evil shadow of Satan. And there was a flood. Meanwhile, we see a girl named Jihan in Kudrat's village, which is possessed by Satan, and then she kills herself. Meanwhile, Kudrat goes to his childhood school to meet his teacher Kayai, where he meets his childhood friend Jafar. And here we find out that Kudrat and Jafar used to study together in this school. And this was not a normal school, but it was taught how to do exorcism here. That is, Kudrat and Jafar are both exorcists, and here Kudrat was like Allah's hand, because none of his exorcisms had ever failed. But when he could not save his son Alif in the end, as soon as he heard this news, his master's mother fell ill, after which Satan gradually took over the whole village, and now his master was sick here. That's why Jafar was running an exorcism school in his place, because of which the villagers used to call him a teacher. Meanwhile, we see another family in the village of Kudrat, in which a paralyzed child named Alif was possessed by a jinn, and this is understood by his mother Yasmin. But when she tells her daughter Alif's sister Asha about it, she is not ready to believe it, because according to her, there is a disease in the village, because of which people were dying like this. Then the next day the jinn possesses Alif so badly that he starts killing his mother Yasmin. But here Yasmin comes out of the room with great difficulty and locks the room from outside and runs to school to call Jafar so that he can do his exorcism. After which, when she reaches the school, she only finds Kudrat there. That's why she begs Kudrat to come with her, for which Kudrat first refuses. But then, as soon as he hears the name of Alif, he remembers his son, because of which he agrees to Alif's exorcism. Meanwhile, Alif's sister Asha opens the door of the room by listening to the jinn, after which the jinn hidden in Alif's body worships Asha, and he cuts his own hand. But luckily, Kudrat and Yasmin reach there in time. After which, Kudrat puts Asha aside and starts Alif's exorcism. And after performing a very powerful exorcism, the jinn comes out of Alif's body. But before going, he says to Kudrat that I am going, but the devil I worship, and who is more powerful than me, he will definitely come to take revenge from you. When Kudrat goes back to school, he sees the devil in the form of a wolf, and soon after that, Kudrat sees the spirit of his son Alif. Afraid of this, he falls into a ditch and faints. Meanwhile, Asha's house possesses Alif's evil spirit again. But then Jafar arrives at the same moment, who comes to school with Alif and her family, so that his exorcism can be done, and then Kudrat also comes to his senses. And he tells Jafar that Alif is now possessed by Asuwala, who is a sorcerer and a direct descendant of the devil. And a while ago, the powerful jinn that Kudrat had taken out of Alif's body, he was just Asuwala's henchman. And it was Asuwala who killed his son Alif, and now he wants to save his life by performing Alif's exorcism. On which Jafar says that I understood everything, but I can't let you perform Alif's exorcism, because I don't want you to risk Alif's life in the fire of revenge from Asuwala. And after hearing all this, Kudrat immediately becomes silent. And then we see the scene of the next day, where Asha was sitting outside the school and crying. So now Kudrat tells her that no matter how bad the situation is, but we should never stop trusting Allah, because the devil wants it. And then once you lose faith in Allah, the devil will take time to kill you. But here his own faith was diminishing. And in this way, these two people reach Jihan's house in the village, where Jihan's father starts killing Kudrat as soon as he sees him, because he was Jafar's companion. And here Kudrat finds out that Jafar used to exorcise only those people who used to give him money or their land, and those who couldn't do this because of their poverty, Jafar used to let them die, but he doesn't exorcise them. This was the reason why Jihan killed himself in the possession of the devil, but his family couldn't do anything to save him, because they were poor. When Kudrat returns to school after being beaten, he finds out that Alif's exorcism was successful, after which Kudrat asks Jafar in anger, why was he taking advantage of such people's helplessness and taking their land? Now Jafar tries to avoid the matter first. But when the atmosphere gets hot, Jafar orders Kudrat to get out of the school, after which the next scene is of the same night, where we see that the devil possesses Yasmin this time, and Yasmin orders Asha to call Ustad Jafar. Meanwhile, we see Kudrat, who goes to meet his sick master Kiai before leaving the school, who tells him a little about Jafar. After which Kudrat finds Jafar and reaches a place like a cave. And friends, this is where the real leaves of this movie open. And here Kudrat finds out that Jafar used to worship Asuwala and Jinn, so that Asuwala gives him such power that he can rule the whole world. In addition to this, the people in the village who were possessing Jinn and Asuwala, that was also happening because of Jafar, because he was giving their soul as a gift in front of Asuwala through black magic, which is a very dangerous thing. And this is what happens when a protector becomes a devourer. After knowing all this, a good fight starts between Kudrat and Jafar, but then in the end, Kudrat kills Jafar. Meanwhile, Asha also reaches there looking for Jafar, which now tells Kudrat to come with him. Meanwhile, we see Yasmin, who comes into Asuwala's possession, buries her own son Alif alive in the ground. After which Kudrat and Asha also reach there in a while, who asks Yasmin where Alif is, on which she tells him that she buried him alive. And friends, Yasmin had become so powerful after being possessed by Asuwala that she comes down to take Kudrat's life, after which Kudrat performs exorcism while facing a lot of difficulties, which frees Yasmin from Asuwala's possession in the end. After which, when Kudrat tries to dig the ground and take Alif out, then Asuwala takes the form of his son instead of Alif alive to trick Kudrat. That is, Alif stands there alive in a possessed state, but Kudrat was seeing his own son in the form of Alif. But still, Kudrat doesn't get tricked here. And through prayers, he frees Alif's body from Asuwala forever. That is, this time he had a lot of power in him. After which the next scene is 6 months later. And now because of Asuwala's departure, happiness and greenery had returned to the village. And now Kudrat's master was also cured. and I think there was no one else to make him sick but Jafar. And that's why Kudrat decides that the time has come, when he finds out how his wife Aziza died, for which he leaves the village. And to make his journey easier, they give him their old bike. And then in the last scene, we see that Kudrat comes back on the screen. And boom! With this, the movie ends here. So friends, this was the story of Kudrat movie, which is a movie based on exorcism, possession, devil, and jinns. Here we have been shown that when Satan brings you bad time, so instead of questioning God at that time, you should go to God's refuge. Because if you stop trusting God in your bad time, Satan will get more power. And as far as the story of this movie is concerned, Asuwala has been talked about Satan. He is the direct descendant of Satan. That's why he had a lot of power, because of which he was successful in killing Kudrat's son, Alif, in the beginning. And friends, there is another factor here. After losing his wife, Kudrat's faith in God was reduced, because of which he could not exorcise his son Alif without using all his powers. Apart from this, let's talk about Asuwala. So he was after Kudrat because he had God's blessing on Kudrat, because of which his exorcism had never failed. And the biggest secret here is how his wife died. So he has gone to find this too. And that's why Asuwala thought that if he can't kill Kudrat, then he can kill his family and break his courage, so that Kudrat can never perform exorcism again, and other demons and jinns like him will be able to take over the earth. And here Asuwala was very successful in this. But in the end, Kudrat came back here. Now let's talk about why Asuwala was possessing Yasmin and his son Alif again and again. So the simple thing is that he wanted to make Kudrat realize this again, no matter how much he exorcises in the name of God. But in the end, he will not be able to save Alif or his family, and he was torturing him with people of the same name again and again. So friends, this was the story of the Kudrat movie, which is an Indonesian horror movie. I hope you liked the explanation in the movie. If you like it, like the video. If you are new on the channel, then subscribe. So I will meet you all in the next video. Till then, stay